With a player like Tiara McCowan, who's 6'7", averaging 18.1 points and 13.6 boards a game, I asked Muffet McGraw, how do you begin to limit what someone like her is able to do? And she said, I don't know that you can. That guarding her is literally a tall order because you can't out-jump her. So Notre Dame, they've got a couple of plans on how they're going to attack her tonight, but McGraw said it's all going to start with being able to get great body position. Eliminated 1 year ago in this game, Gino Auriemma said this is UConn's opportunity to get back to a place where they feel they didn't give their best effort. That being in last year's semifinal when Mississippi State so famously knocked the Huskies out of a shot at a 5th consecutive NCAA title. But heading into today, Coach Auriemma, he said, you know, what happened last year happened, and we can't take that back. But if we come into today's game looking to redeem ourselves, that's not going to be enough, and it's not going to matter unless we just come out and play great competitive UConn basketball. Well, Mississippi State has unfinished business when it comes to championships. You look at last year, they lost to South Carolina in the national championship, and then again to the Gamecocks earlier this year for the SEC title. So Vic Schaefer said, yeah, we've had conversations all year long about the fact that we're incomplete when it comes to that final game, but he said because of those losses and the position that they were put in, he feels Mississippi State is better prepared for what it takes to come out as #1 tonight. Well, Michigan State has been at its best this year when they're running in transition offense, and that's exactly what Joshua Langford said they want to do in today's game against Syracuse. Now, the Orange, they typically play their guards for all 40 minutes, but Michigan State has that depth on its bench that Syracuse is lacking. So Langford said the Spartans, they really want to get out, forcing a fast-paced game and try to tire Syracuse out early. Thank you, guys. Well, I talked with Ball State head coach James Whitford, and he said he's concerned about his team's ability to slow down Eastern Kentucky's offense, specifically Asante Gist and Nick Mayo, knowing how effective they are coming off of that pick and roll. Now, he said containing Mayo is going to be a team effort because he's a guy that can do it all. He can shoot the three, he can post up, and he can drive. So his plan is to have multiple guys guard him today, try and limit his team's fouls and keep Mayo off the boards. One more note, guys, Tajay Teague had a little bump to the head in practice the other day, so we will not see him on the court. Thank you, Joel. Well, this is the first time that Ball State and Northern Illinois are meeting this season, and Brady Selly told me that's kind of influenced his game plan for today. He said he doesn't necessarily want to use all the cards they've scouted on Northern in this first matchup if they don't have to. He trusts his team's judgment to just go out and play, and then afterwards maybe make some adjustments and figure out some things they can fix for that next meeting in February. But you know, these two teams lead the conference in scoring, and he said this is not just coach speak. He truly believes that the difference in today's game is going to be with points in the paint. Coach, an 11-point win tonight. Marcus and Michael Weathers, though, they did have 41 points. So how were you guys able to limit what the rest of their team was able to do offensively?
Marcus Weathers is a really special player, and he did almost all of his work in the second half.
After that loss against Bowling Green, we talked a little bit about the lack of effort you saw from the team. Tonight they were getting after loose balls, taking charges. What was the difference in today's game?
I think they made up their mind.
Coach, you had told me you didn't know if you guys would win today without a big game from Renee Bennett. We didn't see many minutes from her in the first half, so how were you able to adjust your game plan?
Well, you know, she got in foul trouble. You know, I don't know if it's all her fault or not. I'll have to watch it on film.
You know, having her back in the third and fourth quarter, what sort of spark was she able to give you guys that allowed you to pull away with the win?
Well, you could see they had a chance to either let her lay it up or foul her, and they chose to foul her.
Welcome on back into NASCAR Race Hub. Let's take a look at the Chase standings. Now, all the guys in yellow have won at least one race this season. Kyle Larson right there on the edge in 16th, and that could make this next page a little messy. Now, on the left, that's the current next 12, but on the right, we've thrown Chris Buescher into the mix. Now, there's the asterisk next to him because he doesn't exactly have the amount of points he needs right now to make it into the top 30.
Yeah.
Right, Adam?
Yeah.
Well, Jimmie Johnson was able to break a 6-race streak of failing to finish in the top 10 this past weekend in Indy. The 48 team placed third, locking themselves into the chase. But it's a different story for Johnson's teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now, obviously, he is still not running due to concussion-like symptoms. So you've got 4-time Cup champ Jeff Gordon, who comes into the Brickyard, places 13th, and that knocks Junior out of the chase. So the question now isn't just when or even if Dale Jr. will return, but can the 88 car make up those lost points and jump back up in the chase standings? Their next shot will be with Gordon back in the car this weekend at Pocono Raceway. Yeah, I think that's definitely something that at the beginning of the season, they were still trying to figure out. And I've had conversations with Brady Sully about at the beginning of the year, them still figuring out player rotations. How do we play without our star? But they're 25 games in now. They're 10-3 in the conference. They can play without her. They've proven it in the success that they're having. And, you know, they've had different people on the team step up and kind of take over that role that Natalie Fontaine played.
And so going off of that, one of the players that has stepped up has been Renee Bennett. How has she been such a reliable force for Brady Sully this season?
Yeah, well, I think that Renee Bennett is such an interesting player because you look at where she started her college career to where she is now. She is the go-to person on this team. And, you know, Brady Sully even said that last year she kind of took a back seat to Renee Bennett, or excuse me, Natalie Fontaine, because that was her role, you know, and she was okay with that. But it's her senior season. She averages now 16 points a game. In the past 2 games, she's had back-to-back double-doubles. She's someone that how we're talking about, she's stepped up and she's proven to be a leader on this team.